Jai Sri Ram, friends. Welcome to Bharat Marg. Today it's a fantastic topic. It's a good news and a bad news. Okay, that's what we are going to discuss about. Gujarat, Gujarat 2022 riot, Godhra riots. All accused acquitted. Okay, all accused acquitted, not barring one. Okay, and 69 accused, including Dr. Maya Kodnani, okay, who was at the peak of her political thing then, and Babu Bajrangi, who were also acquitted in this. So this long time during this whole process, so many people died, deceased, tortured, and everything. So well, let's talk about it. Is it a fake case that was put on the Hindus, and with the Western media propagating this as they do right now is the question. Let's go. But before going further, friends, please make sure to like the video and comment on the video. If you have any questions, put on it so that we can check up with the panelists here. And also, friends, make sure to subscribe the channel if you didn't already, and also please make sure to press the bell icon so that whenever we go live you get informed and you can join the conversation. Okay, and thank you again. Thank you to all the panelists here. यति सत्यदेवानंद महाराज हैं हमारा साथ, और मीडिया के रंजन नजरन जी हैं हमारा साथ from London, and we have Preeti Thakkar ji, and we have Bharat Gopu ji, political analyst. Welcome. Okay, thank you again. See, Preeti ji, what do you say? All people acquitted after this much of torture. What good news is they are all acquitted. But what does it mean? Dr. Maya Kodnani was at her peak of her career in politics, in practice and everything, and she was tortured for such a long time. With the support of the Congress government and with the support of the media in the West, which Rajan ji will address, being a media person. I will come to best at the last, so I will come to him. On that, Preeti ji, what is your thought on it?
नमस्कार.
जय श्री राम.
जय श्री राम. ये जो केस हुआ था, आई विल स्टार्ट विद हिंदी बिकॉज आई थिंक हमें हिंदी भी चाहिए.
नो प्रॉब्लम, हिंदी इंग्लिश बोथ, नो प्रॉब्लम, प्लीज गो.
तो ये जो केस हुआ था वो केस 2002 में था, और 2002 27 फरवरी को जिस दिन कार सेवकों को ट्रेन में जला दिया गया था, उसका जो एक नेचुरल रिएक्शन आया था, राइट, लाइक पब्लिक का नेचुरल रिएक्शन था कि ये एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं है इस तरह से. सो बहुत सारे राइट्स बहुत सारी जगहों पे अहमदाबाद में और आसपास, मतलब पूरे गुजरात में हो गए थे, राइट. तो उसका एक नरोडा सिटी में भी हुआ था ये. और ये जो केस डॉक्टर माया कोडनानी को इन लोगों ने जिस तरह से इसमें इन्वॉल्व किया, जो कि बिल्कुल गलत था, क्योंकि वो तो उस वक्त अमित शाह जी ने भी अपना विटनेस के तौर पे बोला था कि डॉक्टर माया कोडनानी वाज इन विधानसभा एंड देन शी वाज इन द सोला हॉस्पिटल एज वेल, राइट. और उनके मोबाइल का जो लोकेशन था वो भी वहां दिख रहा था, एंड शी वाज नॉट इवन एट दैट लोकेशन जहां ये घटना हुई थी. उस लोकेशन पे वो मोबाइल लोकेशन के हिसाब से वो थी नहीं. तो उनको तो बिल्कुल गलत तरीके से इन्वॉल्व किया गया था, क्योंकि वो वहां की संसद सदस्य थी और शी वाज लाइक, जैसे आपने कहा, शी वाज एट अ पीक ऑफ हर करियर एज अ पॉलिटिशियन. तो उनको अननेसेसरीली घसीटा गया इसमें. और बाकी जो लगभग 87 लोगों को गिरफ्तार किया गया था, जो मतलब केस हुआ उसके बाद. तो 87 लोग उन्होंने अक्यूज बनाए, और ये कह के कि ये सारे लोगों ने मिलके जलाया, जो 11 लोगों को जलाया गया. लेकिन हकीकत ये नहीं थी. वो वहां सिर्फ खड़े हुए लोग, जैसे कहीं आग लग जाती है तो लोग इकट्ठा हो जाते हैं, राइट. इकट्ठा हुए लोगों में से उन लोगों ने उठा लिए थे उन लोगों को.
And people like Raj Sardesai and Bargadat from NDTV, they promoted the event. It's on the tape, how they promoted the violence and different thing, and they have been thrown out of Gujarat.
या एब्सोल्युटली, क्योंकि वो देखो, एक बात है कि एक एंटी हिंदू नैरेटिव तो हमेशा से मीडिया में चलता रहा है, और उस वक्त तो कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट थी सेंटर में, तो सेंटर की गवर्नमेंट का तो हमेशा से वो एक रहा था कि वो एंटी हिंदू है। तो जितने मतलब हिंदू लोग हैं और हिंदू लोगों के लीडर्स हैं,
ठीक है,
तो कुछ भी करके फंसाना ही चाहते थे, और कुछ था भी नहीं।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। Let us come back to you. We will go to Maharaji here. Maharaji, you were in Ahmedabad that time, in the center of all the things जो हो रहा था, वो आप उधर थे, बताइए आपको कैसा लग रहा है कि ये जो लोग हैं, ये जो जिसका ऊपर इतना अत्याचार हुआ, इतना टॉर्चर हुआ, इनको आज आफ्टर 28 years दे हैव बीन एक्विटेड, आपको कैसा लग रहा है? इनोसेंट हिंदूज के ऊपर
दिलीपन जी,
कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट का अत्याचार। हाँ जी
दिलीपन जी, मेरी मेरी समझ, सबसे पहले तो जो अभी इनको मेरे ख्याल से 20-21 साल हो गए हैं,
21 साल
2002 से आज 21 साल हो गए हैं। 21 साल बाद अगर वो बेगुनाह अगर साबित होते हैं, बेकसूर साबित होते हैं, तो ये न्याय नहीं है। पहली बात तो ये न्याय नहीं है। इनकी उनकी पूरी जिंदगी, अगर हम उम्र कैद की भी देखें ना, तो मेरे ख्याल वो भी 14 साल ही होती है उम्र कैद की भी, मतलब उम्र कैद से भी ज्यादा, वीर सावरकर जी की तरह डबल डबल, मतलब उम्र कैद, 2 मौत की सजा। उसके बाद अगर ये
some of the facts, Maharaji, before you go further, I just want to say Maya Kodnani's record of winning the election is yet to beat. Nobody bet her record yet. She was on the peak of her political career, and she was on the political, the practice, peak of the practice. Everything was ruined with the combination of Western media and the Congress. Please go
बिल्कुल
ahead.
बिल्कुल, whatever. अब देखिए, मतलब इतने दिन के बाद अगर उनको न्याय मिला है तो ये न्याय नहीं है। पहली बात, अगर हमारा संविधान और हमारा कानून मीडिया के सहारे चलेगा, अगर मीडिया के सहारे चलेगा और सत्ताधारी के सहारे चलेगा, एक बात मुझे समझ में नहीं आती हमारे लोगों की, हमारे हिंदुत्ववादियों की, कि जब अगर बीजेपी जहां पे सीएम है वहां पे अगर कुछ हो जाए तो वो सेंटर को, उस वक्त की जो सेंटर सरकार है उसको कोसती है। और अगर आज के समय में अगर कोई विपक्ष की सरकार है, जैसे राजस्थान में कांग्रेस है, दिल्ली में केजरीवाल है, अगर वहां पे कोई ऐसा इंसिडेंट हो जाता है तो वो सीधा का सीधा उनके ऊपर ब्लेम देते हैं। अगर कोई अच्छा हो जाता है तो सीधा सीधा मोदी पे ब्लेम
बारे
देते
में
हैं।
बात कीजिए महाराज जी। अभी ये जो अक्वेंट हुआ है
देखिए देखिए
आपका कैसा लग रहा है कि आप राइट के बीच में थे?
हाँ, मैं उसी पे आ रहा हूँ, मैं। अगर उस वक्त जो हुआ, उस वक्त जो गिरफ्तारियां हुई हिंदुओं की खासकर, उस वक्त अगर मौतें हुई हैं तो वो भी हिंदुओं की हुई हैं, ज्यादा मौतें। और अगर गिरफ्तारियां हुई हैं वो भी हिंदुओं की हुई हैं ज्यादा। और अगर प्रताड़ित हुआ है 2002 गोधरा कांड में, तो अगर सबसे ज्यादा अगर प्रताड़ित हुआ है तो वो भी हिंदू हुआ है। और अगर आप उसमें आप ये देखें ना कि सब कुछ होने, प्रताड़ित भी होने के बाद, मरने के बाद भी, अगर कोई उसमें वो निकला है कि हाँ जी कौन प्रताड़ित हुआ है, तो वो अल्पसंख्यक, तो वो उनके ऊपर, वो आज भी 2002 को रो रहे हैं। और हम आज भी किसी को भी नहीं रो रहे हैं, हमारे लोग भी मर रहे हैं, हम केवल वाहवाही कर रहे हैं और कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं। तो ये हमें आत्मचिंतन करना पड़ेगा।
ठीक है,
ये हमें आत्मचिंतन करना पड़ेगा कि हम अपने जो लड़ने वाले हैं, जो योद्धा हैं, या जो हमारे बेकसूर लोग फंसे हुए हैं, वो उनको छुड़ाने के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं। बाकी हम बातें जो मर्जी करते रहे।
Let's bring Bharatji. Bharatji, what do you say about it? After this long, okay, it's a good news, right? They all acquitted. This good news, and but what is left for them? Everything is ruined.
All right. First things first. What is the case? The case is that a mob of 15,000 people on the 28th of February 2002 killed as many as 95 people in a place called Naroda Patia which is near Ahmedabad. It's in the eastern side of Ahmedabad. Now, this was the matter. 6.5 years after this case, there were 11 witnesses who came forward and said that they had seen Maya Kodnani in that mob or seen her leading that mob. Now, of this 11 people, only 2 have given eyewitness account. Now, of the 2 that who have given eyewitness account, one gave a interview to NDTV in 2002, where I cannot reveal the gender. He or she had not named Maya Kodnani as one of the perpetrators of the violence. Now, all this is happening 6.5 years after 2002. So, for 6.5 years, her name was not there anywhere. Now, how does any person with an iota of legal jurisprudence believe that this can be anything but a fabricated version? Now, based on all this, a verdict was given. She has spent close to 2 decades, as you
Her whole
rightly said,
life.
she lost
Forget it. Her whole life.
Yes. Now, in all this, there is an incredible story, which the court purchased, which I find it difficult to, kind of buy in. Between Naroda Patia and Gandhinagar, the distance is about 27 kilometers. All right. Now, the eyewitness account at the time at which they said that she was taking part in the violence, 20 minutes before that, she was in the assembly. She was in the Gujarat assembly in Gandhinagar. Now, pray tell me, in 20 minutes, she was giving a speech in assembly. How could she have traveled 27 kilometers in less than 20 minutes and organized a mob of 15,000 people and, led that mob? This is not even fantasy, यार. मतलब सुनने में इतना अटपटा लगता है कि ये तो सलमान खान नहीं कर पाएगा. Right?
Anyway, so
This is
it is a
not
clear.
fiction.
Yeah, how the Western governments, now they do it with the media help, like print and other things. They propagated the whole thing. The Raj Sardar group, along with all the Western media, Western countries, how it was propagated and ruined.
1967 onwards. 1967 onwards. If anybody tells that the media has been unbiased and they have done truthful and honest reporting, it's pure hogwash. From 1967 onwards till date, you'll have to say the media is a bit unbiased when people are kind of criticizing the incumbent government, but otherwise, there has been no talk of the aspects of the case, the facts of the case, and nobody has asked the right questions. Barkha, Rajdeep have made a entire
they have propagated
career
the
out
whole
of
thing.
2002.
Absolutely. Rajanji, how do you see this? The medias were blowing out of proportion. That they ruined the career, they ruined the life, and they targeted the Hindus.
It's an interesting question. You're putting me on the spot. I think first we have to acknowledge what happened in Gujarat was anti-Indian. This wasn't anti-Hindu. It wasn't anti-Muslim.
No, it was anti-Hindu. Let me say you why.
It was
Let me say you why.
anti-human.
No. Let me say you why. Because the 59 people who were burnt on the train were coming from Ayodhya after the car seva. Okay, who were burnt alive. The kids, women, all of them were coming from Ayodhya who were burnt. So it was a natural retaliation that took place. We are not for or against retaliation, but we are against the people who are fixed. Yes, please.
Okay, so it's anti-human. I think the moment that human life dies, regardless of the religion, it's anti-human. It affects us all. It's a good question because the previous guest mentioned some very interesting points. The fact is, how is it that somebody who is now put into jail due to the due process of the Indian courts, where there wasn't adequate evidence against them, put in them in the first place, and then 20 years later, are people tending to forget to say, well, justice is served, now she's free. There's obviously great injustice in that if the evidence is there towards it. I can't speak on that, neither as a lawyer or neither as somebody informed. But when you look at it on the surface, you realize that it's not right. The question that you said about the way that the media works, you're absolutely right. The media is no longer a custodian of truth. It's a sales game. It's about numbers. It's about heightening up people's fears, bringing people together and having enough people to watch your content in order to sell advertising or to assume the position of authority. Now, does the media have something to blame in India over this? I know your previous guest said that the media was overwhelmingly anti-Hindu in the way that they spoke about the key issues. I think we have to remember one thing. The media is a business. And as a business, they will always do what makes sense for them to get people on. We as an audience have to make a collective decision on who we trust. There's a lot of people at fault here. It's not just the UK media. It's not just the Indian media, but it's also the audiences who did not do enough research. It's the audiences who chose to be lazy, to not have a look at what the reality is, and believe things when they're fanning the flames of hate against each other. I can't answer, Baji, in all honesty, to say that the British media was right or wrong. All I can say is that given the context with how the media have worked and what has proven itself to be so far, they haven't done anything that is irrespective to what their business operations are. Have a look in recent years. We're not even looking back 20 years. Have a look at what took place in South Africa only a couple of years back we spoke about on your platform. The media spoke nothing about it. The Indian media spoke nothing about it, yet there's atrocities taking place against communities there. And even if you look present day within India, the way that the media has shaped the narrative against certain communities is horrific. What I would like to see as a form of justice from this is not only is there a state apology, obviously, to the lady who's been acquitted, but I think the media itself in India needs to go on trial. And people need to ask, what is the role of the media? And if they created the tensions, if they intentionally heightened up the divisions between communities, well, surely their editors-in-chief are also culpable and they should serve prison sentences. They cannot be immune.
Absolutely. Preeti ji, what do you say? Your last word on it, about this case and acquittal.
Yeah. So basically, मैंने तो खुद देखा है 2002 में ये दंगे, ये जो पूरा मैंने खुद देखा है. तो ये तो एक नेचुरल रिएक्शन था पब्लिक का. ऐसा कोई नहीं था कि किसी ने वहां जाके किसी को इंस्टिगेट किया और लोगों ने कर दिया. नहीं, ये एक नेचुरल रिएक्शन था, क्योंकि 59 हिंदुओं को मारना वो कोई छोटी मोटी घटना नहीं थी. और दूसरे वो कार सेवक थे, वो जो कि अयोध्या गए हुए थे, तो एक सेंटिमेंटल कनेक्शन भी हिंदुओं का था उनके साथ, राइट? तो वो
and they were all sleeping. Yes, when the Rakshas, when the demons fired the train, they were all sleeping.
Exactly. वो सो रहे थे, उसमें औरतें थी, बच्चे थे छोटे छोटे, मतलब सभी तरह के लोग थे, क्योंकि फैमिलीज भी कुछ गई हुई थी वहां. तो मुझे ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि हम ये नरोडा पाटिया केस के लिए इतना सारा हुआ. मैं मानती हूँ जो वहां भी मारे गए वो एक तरह से टारगेट ही हुए थे किसी न किसी तरह से, वो मैं मानती हूँ उस चीज को. लेकिन कोई ये क्यों नहीं बोल रहा कि ये 59 लोगों को जो जलाया, कार सेवक लोगों को, उनको जलाया, उसका एक रिएक्शन था. और उनको क्यों जलाया? क्वेश्चन ये है कि उनको क्यों जलाया. अगर वो नहीं हुआ होता तो ये भी तो नहीं होता ना. अब जैसे शायद भरत जी ने कहा 95 या 97 लोगों को मारा गया, वो सारे के सारे मुस्लिम नहीं थे. मारे गए 97 लोग, लेकिन उसमें बहुत सारे हिंदू भी थे. ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ मुस्लिम मारे गए थे वो 97 लोगों में से. सो जो राइट्स बाद में हुए, मैंने खुद देखा है यार, नंगी तलवारें लेकर लोगों को रास्तों पे दौड़ते हुए मैंने देखा है. मुस्लिमों के झुंड और झुंड को मैंने दौड़ते हुए, मैंने खुद अपनी आंखों से और इतने शॉर्ट डिस्टेंस में कि अगर वो मतलब 500 मीटर की दूरी से मैंने देखा है, ठीक है, ज्यादा नहीं, सिर्फ 500 मीटर की दूरी से मैंने उनको देखा है, और एक दो नहीं, हजारों की संख्या में तलवारें ताने हुए। सिटी ऑफ अहमदाबाद में जो सिटी का एरिया है, वहां मैं थी उस वक्त, और
now you cannot do Ram Navami Yatra through their place. They throw stones and acid bottles, etc.
नहीं, मतलब बात ये है कि एक तो नहीं, मैं ये कहती हूँ कि एक तो इन लोगों ने गलती की कि इतने लोगों को, कार सेवक लोगों को जला दिया। अच्छा, उस वक्त अगर मुस्लिम भाई अगर सही मायनों में भाईचारा चाहते थे, तो क्यों सारे मुस्लिमों ने वहां आके इकट्ठा एकजुट होके ये नहीं कहा कि ये जो हुआ वो गलत हुआ? क्यों नहीं कहा उन लोगों ने? अगर ऐसा कह दिया होता तो ये राइट्स नहीं पढ़ते।
Absolutely.
वो ऐसा कुछ नहीं कहने की बजाय,
let's go to absolutely. Let's go to Bharatji. Bharatji, justice delayed is justice denied. Okay, Indian court system, one of the most corrupt system in the world. These guys put all the case on the back burner and they go to summer vacation because it is too hard for these guys, and they want servant maid, everything on the taxpayer money. But people like this, innocent people like this, suffer. What do you say about the court system of India? That stinks.
Well, you have said what I wanted to say, but I have one basic question. 59 people were burnt alive in the train at Godhra. How many people have faced trial for that, and how many people have been convicted for that? One.
Nothing.
Second. One second question. Can anybody name me 5 people's names who were burnt alive on that train on that day?
Nobody
Just
knows.
5 people's names. That is the quality, and that is the standard of justice and the quality and standard of media in India. I have nothing more to say. I just leave it to people's imagination and sensibility.
Absolutely. Rajanji, your last word.
I think, look, saying that is true. It's the problem with the media. It's selective moral outrage. We'll get angry over certain things, but not others. It's not fair. There's no justice in that. The issue with what we're seeing, this is not just a media issue, it's a political issue. The problem is when you have politicians that are playing with the lives of people on the ground, it's not right. There's no ethics there. India deserves better. India deserves harmony. That's where it came from. And I'm sticking to it again. This is not a Hindu and Muslim thing. This is an issue of politics. This is an issue of mismanagement of the media. This is an issue of identity crises. When people are trying to push each other into corners, the vast majority of people just want to live. They want to have a roof over their head. They want to eat. They want to make sure that their kids are safe. Everybody wants that. Religion does not give you immunity of stupidity. And that's something that we have to remember. And we've seen that time and time again. What we've seen here and what I believe needs to take place next is that those who are involved in the media, and as rightly said your previous guests as well, people should remember the names of those who have died on both sides to say never again will we see this type of animosity rise. But then those people who advocated the violence, the media members, the chief editors, the newspapers, even the politicians, why should they be immune? Surely they should be the ones that should be hanging their heads down low, and they should be punished by the court system. Now, there is a case about the court system. How can we trust the courts? If they make huge mistakes in the past over cases like this, how would you trust that they're going to rectify? They haven't changed. Maybe now's the time, post this issue, that people start re-looking at themselves and saying, what is the India that they want to live in? And people in India have to really look at the media and say, what are the medias that represent us? Because we can no longer be divided. We're all the same human beings. UK has a lot to stand for. The British media should have done better. But the British media should be doing better for its own people at this moment in time as well. There has to be a shift. And it comes from people.
You are talking about the British funded media?
I think all media is funded, though, isn't it? Which media is?
I'm just in the Twitter now. They got a tag, right?
Yeah,
British
it's
funded
about
media,
BBC.
government funded media.
It is government funded.
but all media is funded. Which media isn't
No,
funded?
but
If
not
you're
not all
funded,
media, not
of
all
course
media
it
are
is.
government funded.
No, they're not government funded, but they're all funded.
No, funded is okay, but
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
BBC especially is
But
government.
I'm not here to defend the BBC or to push them into
No, I
any
No,
other
just
just
case,
kidding.
right?
Just kidding.
But
Please
yeah,
go ahead.
but to be very clear, all media is funded. The problem is if we as a people do not control the stories that represent us and we're force-fed a narrative from somebody else, how can we claim freedom? How can a flag of a state mean anything? The media has to shift. The court system has to shift. And those who created division, they should be the ones facing prison sentences at this moment in time.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
I agree with what you said earlier. Prison, justice delayed is just justice unserved is true. Justice should be served, and those chief editors should go to courts, and it should be an international court.
Absolutely. And my last word here, okay, as we close the thing, I believe Indian court system and media has the blood on their hand. Okay. These guys are equally culprit. They're like the rioters who burned the train, who did the revenge, everything. We are not in favor of anything, like Rajanji said, but we are against, okay, the media propagated violence and the silence of justice for 22 years to ruin. How don't you feel? I want to ask the judges, don't you feel shame to go for a summer vacation when the people's lives are hanging on the thread? Yes, this is my last word. Please, yes, 20 seconds, please, Preeti. Finish it.
Yeah. The only one thing I can say that happened good out of all this कि 2002 के बाद इन गुजरात में दंगे नहीं हुए क्योंकि दंगों का इतना गंदा स्वरूप हम लोगों ने देख लिया था, इतना गंदा स्वरूप कि जहां हिंदू मुस्लिम हर गुजराती ने उसमें सफर किया था और गुजराती ने हर बंदा जो गुजरात में रहता है हर एक ने सफर किया था। तो उसके बाद एक भी दंगा नहीं हुआ, ये एक अच्छी बात हुई पूरे इस घटनाक्रम के दौरान।
In your home, give Gulfi. Raj Sardesai will come and have it and do a program on that. Gulfi Gulfi on the plate. Okay, but anyway, thank you, folks, for coming here and sharing your wisdom. It means a lot. And friends, please watch the video, comment, and share. What do you think? Agree, disagree? Put it on the comment. Okay, let it get respond. And see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. See you. Jai Sri Ram.
Jai Sri
Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Sri Ram. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.